In this video, I'm gonna be reacting to your best sports edits. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. What is up? Welcome back. Pete here. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pete Gottschalk, content producer for Major League Baseball, and I put out an Instagram story last week telling y'all to send me some of your favorite sports edits that you've made. And let me tell you what, I got a lot of them, and I've gone through them all, and I've got about 5 that I'm gonna go over today and offer some critique. We're gonna go through the shots, the storytelling, the sound design, the exposure, pretty much everything, and I'm gonna give y'all some tips on how to improve them. This has been a pretty sought after video. I have been getting a lot of people requesting this exact YouTube video. We did one obviously last year, so we're gonna run it back this time, and I'm gonna try and be brief. I'm gonna give some words of encouragement as well, stuff that I liked and stuff that I think could improve. So without further ado, let's get into it. First edit I'm gonna go over today is by Carson Pool. I believe he works at University of Cincinnati or is a student there. And this is like a little basketball video he did with a player, high school player I do believe, and I was pretty blown away by it. Let's run it from the top here.
A lot of haters, a lot of doubters. Nobody can stop me. Get better than last year. Be better than last year. That was nothing. What I'm thinking. The city championship, district, regional, states. Make first team all city, first team all state.
All right, Carson, well, I loved that video, and that's why I chose to review it first. I thought it was one of the strongest ones I got in terms of everything across the board, storytelling, the shots, the kind of the effects that were subtle, but not too much. Let's start from the top, I guess, the storytelling aspect of the video, right? It's just this player getting in work, and you see a lot of these types of videos with no type of audio support, so it was nice to see kind of like a scripted, almost, what was on this player's mind and what's going through his head at the time. So having that aspect on like a workout video, which you see obviously a lot of these football videos, basketball videos, workout videos with nothing. So an audio support like that is great. It's a great start, and it gives you a platform to build on, and it helps the audience understand who the player is a little bit more and what they've accomplished and achieved or where they play. When it comes to visuals, I really like the mixture of kind of the normal shots with your, I don't know what camera you're using, but then also kind of the old style camcorder look. I don't know if that's like an applied filter afterwards or what, because you did a really good job of making it look authentic if it's not. I love that mixture and kind of the swoosh transitions in between. The in-camera stuff is so good, it's genius. To be thinking about that as you're shooting this video is really smart. So props to you, Carson. One thing visually I would have liked to see is maybe a little more contrast in the regular camera shots, but that's it. I know you're at the mercy of like a high school basketball gym. By nature of trade, the lighting is gonna be tough to work with. I know your ISO is probably high if you wanna do high frame rates. You did a really good job there, and then the subtle sound design was great. I heard a little whooshes in there, some like maybe reverse cymbals. It's really all you needed to match up with the transitions. You did a great job overall. I think when it comes to this video, the only final thing that I would have liked to see is like an end soundbite, right? Something to tie it all together, like what's next for the player. Are they going to college? Is it another year or what? At the very end, instead of kind of just that end abruptly. That's really it though, dude. You crushed this video. Next video I'm gonna review is actually a reel by Blaze Freeman. So it is his baseball reel from Florida State. And obviously I have a good amount of experience in baseball. I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt as I review it. It's like a reel is different, right? You're just trying to showcase off your best shots. So it's the storytelling aspect is kind of on the back burner. It's important still in reels like this, but like, you wanna show off your best shots at the front of this video. So
I'm gonna let you know.
Good exposure, good colors.
I tell you got time to worry about me. Not only is you a fan, but you ain't getting no money. Flooded the face, mad at the roof. Got a new house, unlimited space. It was just hard, but I know my life good. Now that I'm gonna do what I said. Never like rain, like water, like sand. Like pocket on rings, pull up your tank. Fuck up the cool.
All right, Blaze, I really did like your reel. Like I said, we're going to kind of push the storytelling part of this review to the back burner. In terms of your exposure of your shots, everything, your color was great. I'm going to use Blaze as an example here. If you're in high school or younger and you're looking to get into college sports, that's how your shot should look, right? You should expose and color them like that. I think what Blaze did really well is making his shots like have a unique color style, and like a lot of people don't do that, including myself. I kind of neglect color. So Blaze right there, I don't know if you're shooting in like log or neutral, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it looks really solid and your exposure was perfect and everything like that. What I will say from this reel, other than it being really, really good, is that I'd like to see kind of like a mixture more of focal lengths. A lot of the time it was just that game action focal length of player reactions. Maybe, you know, mix it up when players are coming out of the dugout, go really wide and low. Maybe get a fisheye or a GoPro or a 360 cam. Mix it up. I want to see a wider look sometimes. Get guys on deck. Now, obviously, I don't know what your access is like at Florida State or on the road, wherever they go. I'd say mixing up the focal lengths, use the crowd a little bit. I harp on this a lot, and especially in my own shots, and people high up in the industry don't do this either. Whenever there's a big crowd, go wide. I don't know how good Florida State's baseball team was this year, so if you're getting big crowds or not, utilize that, right? Get the reaction, make the player look small and the crowd look big in the frame. Pay attention to that type of stuff because mixing it up really helps your reel. Another thing from like a content standpoint, and like I said, I don't know what your access is like, but I would like to see just a little bit more like detail shots, right? Zoom really in tight, get players holding the ball, adjusting their batting gloves, players' feet stepping into the box, players' feet stepping and getting ready in the infield or outfield. Things like that can really add a different aspect to your storytelling, like when you're actually making a video with all this footage, not just a reel. Game action is all in front of you. You can't control that. What you can control is like creating new angles, new ways to storytell, getting details and stuff like that. Other than that though, Blaze, you did a great job with this reel, and you know, it's fantastic in general. So another video we are going to review is from K55 Films, and he specializes in making American football videos over in Nuremberg, Germany, and I've been in contact with him before, and he is learning, he's growing, and this is like I know football is getting big in Germany. Be on the lookout for him.
Nothing else matters.
We will stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. Come up with a game plan. Double XL up in the pen, you can't shake that. All the way gassed up, full tank, man. Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang, so tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line, high risk, that's the meal ticket. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at, never fall back. No lies, no facts, we gon' stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Never falter. Came with the hands out, get them off us. I'm 24/7 in the office.
All right, Stefan. So I really enjoyed your personal highlight tape there. I thought you did a lot of things well that looked towards really being a talented videographer. One thing I think you did well is mixing in some speed ramps and zoom ins and slow motion with real speed. I think the pacing of your video is really, really good. And that's something that I really like to do, and something that I've tried to do in recent times is just like, you know, mixing in the speed ramps, zooming in as you speed ramp. People like to see that type of visual innovation on social. It's not seen on broadcast a lot, so seeing that is great. The quality of your shots, the exposure is pretty good as well. You do a good job of getting on behind the end zone, on either sideline, moving around a lot. Something that I always gauge people on is moving around a lot, and if they're mixing up their angles, so you do a really good job of that. And in that same vein, mixing in some fan shots and shots of the cheerleaders and capturing the game atmosphere. I think was really, really cool. Showing off that there is a big fan culture and football culture, American football culture in Germany, all of that is crucial to, I think you have a very unique opportunity there. So showing that off, you did a really good job of. Fourth video we have today for y'all is from Zach Gardner 22. Looks like Zach is a freelancer and worked for the Windy City Bulls at one point, which is G League, I do believe. He has a video from Illinois football, and that's what we're gonna review today. Job quality of your shots looks really good. You mixed up your focal lengths a little bit as well. And I saw some effects and some like kind of visual innovation that you were trying. I really like to see those things a lot. I would say most of my critique will come from the storytelling side. You did a good job of incorporating broadcast audio, which a lot of people do not do. I think in that same kind of conversation as using broadcast audio, I would like to see kind of an intro from the broadcast, right? Whether it be like here we're in Illinois, we're at Champaign, it's Illinois taking on Iowa or whatever it is. I'd like to see kind of an intro to give the audience an understanding of where we are, or if you're keying in on a specific player, who that player is, a little background on the player before you go into kind of a play or a couple set of plays with them or some B-roll. I would like to see kind of a little more introduction and also a little more outro of who won the game, how'd the game go, what was the score, bigger plays, stuff like that. I'd like to see those things. But overall, you did a great job. Another thing that I noticed was the small audio design when it comes to like making low pass when there's slow motion and a speed ramp. I really do those things a lot and I like them and I think it looks really cool and they do well on social, believe it or not. So that is good to see from you. You have a lot of potential as a videographer, I would say. Hone in on that storytelling side. Make sure you're not skimping out on that. Overall, great job, Zach, and thank you for sending a video in, man. The fifth video I have for y'all that I'm gonna look over, the fifth and final video, is from Jackson Bryant. Jackson works for Lander University and looks like he films a couple things. I don't know if he played or what, but we're gonna get into this baseball edit because it's pretty fire and I do enjoy it a lot.
Pardon me, I've been acting a pro. Pardon me, I've been still acting pro. Pardon me, I've been still acting pro. Pardon me, still acting the store. Pardon me, I've been still acting pro. Pardon me, still been in the store. Pardon me, I've been still acting pro. Pardon me, still been standing at the store. Pardon me, still on the seat. Pardon me, still on the seat at the floor. Pardon me, I put that knife on your throat. Pardon me, I'ma step out of there. Pardon me, designer hit down to the toe. I'm still proud I do it. Doing that shit. Smashing that door, shit, I'm feeling like an igloo now.
I like that edit a lot, short and sweet. It's clearly catered for just like a visual innovation, social type piece. Storytelling, while that's always very important, I understand you don't really need it in every piece. So I'm gonna put that, like I did on the second review, on the back burner, and we're gonna focus just on the visuals and the effects for this one. Jackson, you did a great job here. Your shots look good. I do think on a couple of them you could have brightened them up a little bit. Now, that being said, I don't know what the lighting situation is at Lander or your lens situation, so take that with a grain of salt, man. Lighting is sometimes a pain, especially at youth baseball fields and college baseball fields. It can be tough, especially if you're limited by a lens. The tracking strikeouts you got were super cool. You could go a little wider at times, maybe some cool B-roll. If you do have the capability lens-wise to go a little tighter, do that. Overall, visually though, man, you did a really good job, and I think this is all you look for. This video is very sound effect heavy and visual effect heavy. I liked your effects a lot. They paired really nicely with the sound design. They were subtle, but not overdone. It's important not to, in these types of videos, do an effect for literally everything, because it doesn't need it a lot of the times. You need to let your raw shots do the talking or a slow motion shot do the talking. Keep it simple because too many effects can keep it jarring, and I think you did a good job of that. When it comes to sound design, the whooshes, the impacts, the pans, everything like that were fantastic. And when it comes to the tracking strikeouts, the speed ramps with the zoom, the umpire striking them out was really cool. On some of them, most notably like the thunder and lightning, I liked that effect. I liked you try to play off it, but I think you could make it a little more subtle. Sound effects, you sometimes have to drop them like 8 to 10 decibels to make them make sense. Too loud can sound a little bit forced. Not that these sounded forced, because they didn't. You had the visuals to pair with it, but just make them a little more subtle. So overall, I think you did a fantastic job. Just mix up your focal lengths a little bit, maybe make those sound effects a little more subtle at parts, but overall, great job, man. Seriously. Thank you for sending your video in. That is all I have for y'all today. Those were 5 really solid videos from 5 really solid creators. Thank y'all for sending those in. I'm sorry that I can't get to everyone's edit. There were a lot sent in. I'll probably do another one of these in the near future or you know, within the next 6 months. I do enjoy doing these. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.